Hi, we built PaaS platform for cloud providers. It allows to easily transform bunch of hardware servers into intelligent system with monitoring, Kubernetes API, and multiple services ready to order. It can be installed as backend for making public clouds. For example, when your user can come to your website to order managed services, and we can provide these services for you. Or we can build a private cloud, manage it with infrastructure as a code approach. That means that your users and your developers can request managed services they need just by putting needed YAML files into Git repository. Then CI/CD system will order these services from Cozystack. Cozystack has simple interface for administration and for installing managed services and applications. Every application can be installed simply with providing some parameters or using API interface and putting YAML files directly into Kubernetes. We provide simple installation method which allows you to bootstrap our system on empty data center in 5 minutes. You just connect your laptop to the same network with your hardware servers, turn them on, then choose them in the installer, and choose some parameters like host name, disk to install, IP address configuration, and click next, next, next. In 5 minutes, you have ready cluster. This cluster includes ready-to-use monitoring stack with pre-configured Grafana dashboards and alerts. It includes fast and reliable storage based on time-tested technologies like LVM and ZFS and uses fastest DRBD for replication. It includes modern network fabric based on OVN and allows to make you multi-tenant networking just in Kubernetes. And finally, you have the opportunity to order a lot of services like managed Kubernetes databases, virtual machines, load balancers, VPN, and HTTP caching service. We have plans to implement S3 storage as well. We provide truly managed Kubernetes. That means that all the services like load balancers, persistent volumes, cluster autoscaler, monitoring and logs are already included into every deployable cluster. Databases as a service provides you with the opportunity to create databases, manage users and access rights, configure automatic backups, and monitoring through the dashboards. We care about performance. For that reason, we use the most performant technologies in open source. For example, DRBD replication works right in kernel and 7 times faster than Ceph. It consumes up to 11 times less RAM and CPU time than Ceph. And Victoria Metrics consumes 7 times less storage than Prometheus. We have cost-efficient and secure tenant model. Tenant in Cozystack is basic security entity, and every tenant can be installed inherited one by one. Every tenant got its own domain. For example, tenant root under it tenant foo has subdomain of root. Tenant bar has subdomain of tenant foo. In case of need, you can replace domain to your own. If you look inside the tenants, you can see that they work the same way like Linux kernel namespaces. For example, when you create new sandbox, you can say that you want separated mount namespace, network namespace, PID namespace, user namespace. In our case, they work the same way, but when you're creating new tenants, you specify you want to have separate etcd cluster, monitoring hub, or ingress for this tenant. And any application installed in some tenant can inherit resources from upper tenant in case if their tenant has no them. For example, the blue tenant foo has no ingress, so Kubernetes cluster will use ingress from green tenant root. Kubernetes cluster 2 and Postgres will use blue monitoring from tenant foo. Why is it important? Because some users want to have same interface for monitoring, one single Grafana where they can see all their clusters and their applications. This model allows to achieve that. We built on top of Flux and Helm, so if you have some experience in writing Helm charts, you can easily extend this system. We have standardized and unified solution which is based on open source and industry-lead technologies. We can invisibly integrate into your systems so your users will work with your API and your web services and will never know that they backed by our solution. They will have access only to your website and your API, or they can have access to their own Kubernetes cluster deployed on top of Cozystack. Inside this cluster, they can order load balancers, persistent volumes, they can autoscale it, and can order managed services in the future. We provide really fast and simple integration in terms just putting YAML files into Kubernetes clusters, so we can easily integrate into your systems. That's it. Thank you.